I am so sick of this quote. I am so tired of this Warren Buffett's quote that you have no idea. He said, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. I hear it thrown around over and over, and you know what people do? They do the exact opposite. They are fearful when others are fearful, and they are greedy when others are greedy. That's it. I am so sick of this quote because I live by it, I die by it, and then I hear others quoting it, but then when it's time to be greedy, oh, they're nowhere to be found. When it's time not to be fearful, oh, they're fearful just like everybody else, right? When people were greedy, what were they doing? They were buying pictures of monkeys, NFTs, nothing behind them, but they were happy to buy them. What do they do now? They read all the newspapers, how the recession is coming. And what do? They sell their businesses and assets for pennies on a dollar. And then there's very few that you can find that actually want to be greedy when others are fearful. So what's the point? What was the point of Buffett saying to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy when others are fearful? Here's the point. Because when people are greedy, they're happy. Prices are high, and you have to pay high prices for everything, including the pictures of monkeys. When people are fearful, that's the time that they will sell you great assets, great businesses with great futures for pennies on a dollar. And today, if you look at the microcap space, the small cap stocks, they have been absolutely decimated. Decimated. It doesn't matter if their businesses are good, if their businesses have great futures, if they have great assets, they have been decimated. And barely anybody wants to buy them. Why? Well, because they're fearful. They're reading all the articles that are negative. We're going to have the worst recession of the humankind. It's going to wipe out the humanity. Of course they don't want to be greedy. Why would they want to be greedy when everybody is fearful? They could actually get assets for pennies on a dollar. So let me give you some examples. Here's an example of a stock that I made about 92 videos about. Voxter Analytics Corp. If you look at the 5-year chart, from the peak, the stock is down 91%. 91% from the peak. And it seems like the stock price is going down every single day. And do you know that when the stock price was here versus where the stock price is today, do you realize that the business today is 10 times better than what it was in April 14, 2022? So what's the difference? Well, today, everybody is fearful about everything. They're fearful that this company is going to go bankrupt. They're fearful that we're going to go into a recession. They're fearful about everything. So therefore, they're selling you this company that is 10 times better than what it was back then for pennies on a dollar. Let me show you another example. Oracle Resource Corp. I talked about this company since 2017. I made 109 videos about it. From the peak to today, the stock is down 80%. 80%. Now, just to put things in perspective, this company has made tremendous progress from when I started talking about it, from 2017 to today. The progress in the business or development of the asset that they have is huge, okay? when the stock price reached $3.45, if this is the progress that has been made, back then only this much progress was made. But when only this much progress was made, people were very happy to pay $3.50 for it. But now when all this other progress have been made, they don't want to pay as much for it. They want to pay 80% less for it. And if you look at the stock today, it barely has a pulse. Barely anybody is paying attention. The wealth transfer that's going to happen, the number of millionaires that are going to get created by people who have the courage to actually be greedy when others are fearful is unbelievable. The kind of money that's going to be made during the current downturn in the microcap or small cap stocks is going to be epic. There is going to be 10 beggars, 100 beggars, 1,000 beggars, just because small cap stocks have so little liquidity, so few buyers, that when they get hit so bad that people literally sell you these assets for pennies on a dollar, and they are happy to unload them onto you as long as you pay any price for them. It's going to be epic. So these are the two stocks that I talk about on my YouTube channel. And if you never heard about them, I suggest you go to my YouTube channel, go under playlists, and familiarize yourself with these two stocks. And maybe there's something that you will find interesting. Now, let me give you some other examples of markets craziness about three other stocks that are not part of the YouTube channel, but they are part of my membership website called MicroCapExplosions.com. So let me just go over another three craziness. This is a company that has a very interesting and unique product. And as you can see, the stock of this company went from $1 in 2020 all the way to $32, like within a very short period of time. It was almost 3,000%. And then since that peak, the company's stock is down almost 94%. 94%, okay? Now, this company has so much cash in the bank that almost the entire market cap is in cash. And you almost get the business for free or very little money. Now, that business is so unique that the CEO of this company loves to sit on business development calls because he loves to look at the potential client's reaction when they learn about this company's product. They are so blown away by this because there's nothing like this on the market. So, huge disconnect. The stock is down 94%. The clients are completely blown away by this product. The sales of this product are increasing like crazy, but nobody wants to buy the stock because they want to be fearful when others are fearful. Another example of a company. The stock is down 90% from the recent high. Do you know that revenues of this company over the last few years went up fourfold? 4 times. 4 times. Have you ever seen a company that was not overpriced? Revenues went from here 4 times in a few years, and the stock is down 90%. 90%. I wanted to buy a lot of this stock at 10 times higher than what it is today, but I didn't have money at this point. Now, the stock, because at that point I wanted to pay this much for it, and I thought that there was an easy 10x. Today, the stock is down 90 something percent, which means that if I was happy paying 10 times more for it because I thought it had an upside of 10x, from here it has an upside of 100x. Nobody wants to buy it because they're fearful when others are fearful. When others are fearful, they want to sell you assets for pennies on a dollar. Unreal. Finally, this company, over the last 5 years, the stock chart is a little choppy. But what's so interesting about this one, imagine you want to buy a business that generates $10 million of revenues, and it's a good business, 50% gross profit margin. Do you think you have a chance to buy a real business that generates $10 million for, let's say, $10 million? Probably not. Probably you have to pay like $50 million for it. And this business is selling for $5 million. In other words, 50% of revenues that are sticky revenues, recurring revenues, 50% gross profit margin revenues. It is unfreaking real. So, yeah, it's your choice. You can be fearful when others are fearful and not look at those opportunities. You can be greedy when others are greedy and buy pictures of monkeys when others are buying pictures of monkeys. Or you can learn this lesson from Warren Buffett and be greedy when others are fearful. So if you're new to this channel, I suggest you look at the playlist. You look at the companies that I talk about, analyze them, maybe for you. If you are interested in learning about the three that are not part of this YouTube channel, I suggest you check out MicroCapExplosions.com. I usually charge $3,000 per year for this service, but for this video, in the description below, I'm allowing you to have it for $1,500 per year. So it's your choice. Do you want to be fearful when others are fearful? Feel free to be fearful when others are fearful. Or maybe be greedy when others are fearful.